What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Remarried Project. This episode is with Bubba Reeves. I've known Bubba for a while now. We went to high school together and played football together. Won a state championship together. But Bubba's an up-and-coming musician. And, he's released a couple songs in the past couple weeks and gotten picked up by this guy named Big Poe. Big Poe's been in the game for a long time and has a lot of loyal fans. And he's just been putting Bubba on like big time, and he sees something in Bubba, and as do I. If you listen to his music, you'll understand there's definitely something there, and I can't wait for him to keep putting out music and keep making his own style, and I'm excited for him, and that's why I had him on. This whole platform is about promoting people and finding interesting people and trying to figure out what makes them tick, and we get into that. We talk to Bubba about his influences, and it seems like he had a big family influence, and that really made him into the musician that he is today. Make sure you follow Bubba at Bubba Reeves Music. I'll make sure to give you the platforms there and link it below. If you want more of me, I'm at Dan Mabry, at Dan.Mabry on Instagram. Duh. And, yeah, I got stickers. Bubba's going to be in Alabama this weekend. And y'all look out for more music for him because it's coming. And he ain't quitting. And neither am I. So we're going to keep this thing rolling. And so is Bubba. So without further ado, Bubba Reeves. All right. Well, we'll just dive right into it then.
Let's do it.
All right. Bubba Reeves.
What's up, everybody?
Man,
how you doing?
Highly requested.
Yes, indeed. Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've had it. I mean, obviously, I don't have a huge audience, but I have had whenever I reach out and say, hey, who should I get on? You've been mentioned a couple different times.
Man,
so.
Cool. That makes me feel good. I didn't know
especially in the past couple weeks, you've been popping up more on the music scene.
I'm trying, man.
And people have been really digging it from what I can tell.
Yeah, I'm trying, dude.
Yeah, but I think we're going to drop back and start out like, how we met each other and all that. I guess, I heard in your live stream the other day, you were born in Mississippi.
I was born in Natchez, Mississippi.
Yeah.
I wasn't born in West Monroe. You didn't know that,
I
did
didn't.
you? I wasn't born in West Monroe, man. We moved here when I was like 4 or 5, just in time when I was starting George Welch. I went to George Welch Elementary.
Yeah.
And, I've lived in West Monroe my whole life. I was just born in Mississippi. That's where the draw comes from. Because people in West Monroe, even still, if I go to the store or anything, ask where I'm from. I've been living in West Monroe my whole life.
Yeah, yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
No doubt. Like you said, grew up in West Monroe, and we ended up playing football together and going to high school together.
On the football field when we started talking, I believe.
No doubt, no doubt.
That I can remember anyway.
Yeah. And I guess what I remember about you being a football player, obviously you a fullback.
That's right.
And you was a put your head down, go to work kind of guy.
Still am.
Hell yeah. And there was always something to respect about that, the toughness
appreciate that.
And hard work.
I couldn't kick him field goals.
It was shoot. Sometimes I couldn't either.
Whatever.
But a stat I always like to throw around whenever football comes up is my senior year. I was the 4th leading scorer on the team behind Paul Turner, Tyler Kane, and Bubba Reeves.
Man, that's a tough lineup right there in front of you.
Yeah, no doubt.
Especially Paul.
It's because we were running the triple option, and I was kicking all the extra points.
Yes, indeed, man.
Yeah.
Hammering them back, though.
For sure. But something I thought about leading up to this was you were a part of the last state championship team.
That's right.
Which
And
is pretty wild to think about, like from us growing up and stuff.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. And time is steady ticking. How I know you got to feel old. You're a little older than me, I believe.
Yeah, for sure.
And I feel real old.
Yeah. Somebody's like, 10-year reunion's coming up in like a year. And I'm like, man, that's
golly, man.
That's good. I guess it's 2 years,
cut
but
that
still.
Out. Don't tell them that.
But yeah, I guess so. Since you graduated, what's been up with you? What happened with you as soon as you graduated? You went to work?
Man, well, right out of high school, I had my first son, Ryder. He's 6 now.
Okay.
So that makes me feel real old.
No doubt.
And I went straight to work doing construction. I wasn't making no money, like $280 a week as a workhorse. I was working with a bunch of old guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they put me right to work, and I didn't do it long, and I went to the oil field, and that's where I've been. I thrived there for a long time, making real good money.
For sure.
And I did get laid off from a company a couple years into it. Like in 2014, we got laid off, and I was out of work for like 8 months. I was turning down a bunch of jobs, but I done got used to that oil field money, man.
Yeah, for sure.
What would have used to been a good, pretty good job, I was like, man, I ain't going to,
Yeah.
Just being hard-headed, really.
Right,
It had been better than sitting on my ass and wasting time looking back.
No doubt.
But I eventually got back with another company that hired me on, and that's where I've been up until recently. And by the way, I've done been married once and divorced once, and then wound up, and I also had another son with that person.
All right.
And then we was apart like 10 months and wound up getting back together and remarrying.
Wow.
Yeah. That's wow.
It's been a roller coaster, huh?
Yeah, it's been crazy, man. And we just recently, like maybe not even 3 months ago, separated and going through a divorce now. But that's where this music comes into play.
Yeah,
See,
that kind of explains I should have known.
You damn right. And that's what I'm getting to. I was thinking, man, I can't believe that I was, I actually remarried this girl and wasted all this time. I bought a house and then was remodeling the house with my bare hands. Like anytime I went at the rig on my 2 weeks off, I was working on the house. I was doing what I could and then being a father. And so whenever we just recently separated, I was like, damn, man, like I can't believe that I done that. Such a waste of time and money. But then I got to thinking.
Yeah.
Most of my songs, at least half of my songs, it wouldn't be in existence right now had I not. Everything happens for a reason, I believe, and that definitely happened for a reason.
No doubt.
And I didn't really expect things in this music. I played when I was 20 years old. I was playing shows like Pickle Barrel and stuff. Making tips, just having fun with it.
Are you playing your own music then, or are you just covering stuff?
I do a lot of covers, but I got probably 40 original. I can play all night long and play my own songs.
For sure.
So it makes me feel good that you said I didn't know. I figured you had seen me on social media and wanted to get me on here. I didn't know you had some requests.
Yeah.
So
I guess I've seen you doing stuff, but obviously, somebody says something and it gets my attention. Obviously, in the past month, you've been really putting out some stuff.
Yeah. Well, it just now has fallen into place where I'm able to do that, man.
No
I didn't expect it to happen as fast as it's happening.
For sure.
And
it definitely seems
such
that
a
way.
Positive response from everybody, which I appreciate so much, because without that, I would, none of it would matter.
Yeah.
And that's definitely a drive to keep going. And I have a whole lot more to come. In 2 weeks, I'll be dropping another song on all, every outlet to download it and social media, all of that.
For sure.
And then hopefully within at least 2 months, I'll have an album dropping out. We're working hard. Shout out to Big Poe Music, by the way, because that guy right there, man.
Yeah, I want to get to that.
Yeah.
Let's back up for a second, though.
I'm going right back.
I like it. I'm glad you're excited. I'm excited for you, honestly. I mean, it's
Yeah,
the
man,
stuff
yeah.
I've seen and heard has been stuck in my head for sure. A couple days in a row, no doubt.
No kidding, man.
Yeah, for
Let me
sure.
hear some of it.
Oh, that 4-wheel drive, like
You like-
loaded
that-
40 inside, got to turn it on.
Oh, come on. That's cool, man. You make me blush, dude.
So you mentioned playing shows like when you were 20 and stuff, but I
Yeah,
guess when
man.
did you pick up the guitar?
Well, my sophomore year, that's when I can remember really being able to play the guitar.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I guess as far back as junior high, I had one,
Yeah.
but it was just sitting there collecting dust.
Yeah,
Didn't even
for
have
sure.
all the strings on it. You know,
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
it was a little red guitar. It was a piece of junk. But I've always loved to sing.
For sure.
And I remember being like 3 years old singing She Thinks My Tractor's Sexy.
Yeah.
You know, in the living room, my mom and daddy on the couch. And I was just sitting there, you know, my underwear, thinking I was a hot shot, boy. But I actually didn't start really playing the guitar till sophomore year of high school.
Well, I remember you singing all the time in
Yeah.
high school, in locker room and stuff, just kind of messing around. And
When I started playing the guitar, even in sophomore year, man, I really wasn't that good. A lot of people didn't know that because to somebody who can't play at all,
Right.
you're thinking, listen to him, man.
You can string a couple chords together, right?
Yeah,
And people
it
think
was
you're hot
mediocre
stuff.
at best, dude. I'm not gonna lie, but I've really been on it these past few months. You know, I just picked it back up, but I blew the dust off a lot of old songs that I'd already written as well, which kind of helped me pick back up. But
So you had continued to write songs, but hadn't really played music.
that's right, man. That 4-wheel drive, I didn't have a guitar or nothing. I come up with that at work running a bulldozer.
I was
actually,
wondering
in
if that
South
was
Texas.
if that was you or if that was Big Poe.
That I wrote the hook on it, the chorus on it, and he wrote the raps on it.
For sure.
But that's all the singing part, I wrote, and he wrote the rest.
Well, and that was the first. And I guess really I saw y'all's live stream where you were like covering a couple songs like Tyler Childers and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
And obviously I really love Tyler and Sturgill and all of them. So
yeah, good. They're good, man.
For sure. I guess to continue on the story, like you were just writing music like out in the oil field, like just
Yeah, dude. Any like you said, it's been kind of a roller coaster, which has been a roller coaster for everybody. Everybody has their own story.
For sure.
But for me, I'm not a very good. It's hard. A lot of time I've got myself in trouble and kicked my own self in the ass trying to talk things out and express my feelings. I don't seem to mix my words up and not say the right shit, man.
Yeah.
But it's just always been easier for me to come up with a song. And every song I've ever written, I hadn't actually written. I've never put pen to paper.
Okay.
I just memorize it.
All right.
But I just find a little zone and it's my emotions. I can't really explain it, man. I'm not a good talker.
You don't have it like typed out in your phone or nothing.
No,
you
man,
just got
nothing.
hundreds of songs in your head.
Oh, man. We
Wow.
can make one right now, dude. It'll be one about this podcast.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, bro.
All right. That's cool.
But
Yeah, I mean, I can see how, your mind wanders like that, and you start to link things together, and
yeah, I mean, it's
obviously you got things on your mind, and like you say, you feel more comfortable singing it out than.
yeah. I'm not a very good.
So would you be like singing while you're working?
Yeah, absolutely, and all the way. Like I said, I was working in West Texas. That's a long drive, man.
Yeah, no
and a
doubt.
lot of times,
For sure.
listen to the radio. They tend to play a lot of the same songs over and over, and then they tend to play a lot of songs that I don't really care to listen to.
Yeah, no doubt.
Or if it's a good song, they'll play it out, man, where you don't want to hear it.
Oh,
So half the drive, you have the music turned off,
Yeah.
and it's just really thinking about the roller coaster of life, and it'll come to you, man. That's at least how it's worked for me.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful, to get to do this music thing, and I'm grateful that I'm able to come up with some of these songs that people, obviously, some people tend to enjoy them, and that's just motivation to keep on. And I already have several, like I said, waiting to come out, but it makes me feel good to know that people, want more.
For sure, no
So I
doubt.
got more.
So I guess how did you meet Big Poe? I mean, I've
crazy.
heard he's like from West Monroe, and he's been in the game for a very long time.
He played ball at West Monroe as well, and I hadn't known the guy that long, bro. Like a little over a year maybe, but he was. I heard about him through a buddy of mine that I go fishing with all the time. Well, I just happened to be down there one day, and Poe was out there on the damn on the Washita River on the sandbar. We going down the river and seen some cameras over there and whatnot. And I was like, what they doing, man? I said, they filming a music. What are they doing? You know, I seen a dude out there with a guitar and he had no shoes on, had his feet in the water. I was like, look at this. And he was like, no, dude, that's the dude I was telling you about. I was like, what? Well, pull over there, man. And we got to talking and wound up when they was done doing their little shoot or whatever, wound up hanging out a couple of hours, and I grabbed a guitar from him, you know, and played a few covers, and then he's like, you write anything? And the first song I played was a 4-wheel drive, just, you know, messing around. And he was like, man, we got to cut that song. And I was like, yeah, man, cool, whatever, kind of brushed it off.
Yeah.
And like 6 or 8 months went by, you know. After that day passed, I didn't see him for a long time. I went back to work, don't forget about it.
Yeah.
And he got back in touch with me one day and was like, look, man, I was actually at the rig when he called me. I just got off work, and he was like, when you get back in town, if I can get you set up at the studio, you know, it's paid for, everything. You go up there and just cut that song and get him to send it to me up north, and we get it mixed. And long story short, that's what happened. And ever since then, man, it's just been rolling.
Dude,
you know,
that is crazy.
It's insane how, you know, we was just riding by on a boat and seen him out there on the sandbar, and I was like laughing, like,
yeah.
You know, I was hating, man. I was talking shit, and I was like, oh, never mind. No, it's cool, man. What's up, dude?
But then for it to like linger for that long.
I don't forgot about it.
Right, yeah.
But he never forgot about it.
Yeah,
you know?
that's big facts. He never forgot about it.
I've been wanting to do the music thing. Even high school, you know, I tell people, oh, I'm going to be a country star and shit. And I may never be a country star, but that's not necessarily what I'm working towards.
Right.
You know, I just want to be heard. I just want my music to be heard. And it's a fulfillment that I get to see people knowing the words to a song I've written.
For sure.
That feels good to me. And it's a blessing, man. It really is a blessing. If I don't put out another song, it's already been a good enough fulfillment.
Yeah, that's a great attitude to have about it. You know, that's something that I struggle with doing this. You know, like this is like my 29th episode, and you know, I mean, it is like super long form, so like it's kind of hard to keep people engaged the whole time. But at the same time, I'm not writing a song and playing the guitar on it. Yours takes a whole lot more skill than mine does.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that, dude, because if I was sitting in that chair right there, I'd be sitting there. You got to know how to talk to people and what questions to ask, and that's why you sitting there and I'm sitting over here.
Fair enough. So y'all cut this song, and I guess now he invited you out on a couple of tour stops and that kind of deal?
Yeah, well, I just got back actually last week, I believe. I went up to Indiana, and I stayed with him up there, and we played a couple shows in Indiana and went from there to Ohio. And this was just like sometimes, you know, back-to-back night or every couple nights, you know, it was hit and miss shows. But from Indiana to Ohio, back to Indiana to Kentucky, back to Indiana, and then back home. And now this weekend, we got a show together in Billingsley, Alabama.
Okay.
On Saturday night, and it's gonna be, it's like a big mud ride thing, you know, kind of where that 4-wheel drive, all that mud riding.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be it's one of them type deals.
Okay.
But it's definitely a hell of a time.
For sure, yeah,
fun,
no
man.
doubt.
It's fun.
Was that kind of what y'all were doing up north? Were y'all like at bars and stuff?
This was we actually opened up for the Lax. That's a pretty popular band, and then Aaron Lewis was playing up there too on the same stage.
Wow.
We played some pretty big shows up there. They were all outdoor shows, outdoor venues, but two of them were mud rides, and then the other ones was just like kind of like the Revelry or something.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. I think that's interesting though. Like the whole mud ride scene is kind of like, small time country music festival type deal.
Yeah, I tell you what, you meet a lot of good people out there, man.
Yeah.
I've met some.
A lot of hard-working people that get out there, and that's their time to let go. And
some real honest people, man. I was glad to meet. I've met a lot of good people through Poe, and we've met a lot of people together that neither one of us knew, but real honest, good people. And I want to keep getting out there. I love meeting people, man. I used to not really be a people person, but I've learned to appreciate people. There's a lot of people that it's a blessing to run into.
No doubt. And if there's anything that I've learned about my creative process here is, like, I haven't really had a whole lot of haters, but I imagine you will.
Oh yeah. There's been some already.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a whole lot of love coming your way, and that's a whole lot easier to focus on,
The haters, my music ain't for them.
No doubt.
It's for the ones who ain't hating.
That's right. That's right. So, like, have you ever been to one of those mud events before? Like, have you ever been to a music festival or anything like that before?
No, man. This is all new to me.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Hats off to Poe as he put me in a position. Now he's got me. He was my training wheels, but now I've got all the connections. I'm going out on my own with it now.
Yeah.
He got me started.
You making the phone calls now?
I'm calling my shots now.
Yeah, for sure. So are you like opening up for him, or are you playing with him?
We're playing together. I'm playing with his band. Playing the guitar and singing the songs we do together, and then I also have a set on my own where I play and sing.
All right.
I play and sing my own songs. Because there will be some. There was already people. I don't know how. I guess maybe from the live feed that we done. That knew I should have known up north when I was playing and singing. I could, see and hear people here and there out there having the words. And it had to have been from but that was a dream somewhat come true right then and there on the stage, just to see a few people, and a few kids
for sure
mouthing the song that hadn't even come out yet. I'm eager to see if anybody in Alabama is going to know anything about it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, it's cool that, like, Poe, like, clearly sees something in you and wants to help you out, and, like, he is literally he's like handing you a fan base.
He handed me. Dude, he's been doing this for a long time, man.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
And he's well known, but he don't have a million fans, but the fans he does have are loyal. Yeah. And if he puts me in front of him like he had, he gave me his fans overnight. Yeah. Plus, I've made a lot of my own. Right. Shortly after, so he gave me all his fans and more.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I mean, obviously y'all have different styles. He's more of a country rapper kind of guy.
I'm not a rapper. You don't want to hear me rap. I promise you.
I guess. Who inspires you musically? Where do you get inspiration from?
Man, I was inspired from a real young age by both my parents. They've had a band. That's how my parents met, actually. My daddy had a band. My daddy's almost 70 years old. He had a band from the time he was 12 years old, and then him and my mama met when he was in college, and she plays and sings. She was in another band, and she come over to his band, but growing up, they would sneak me in the back of the bar. They'd be playing at bars. I wasn't near old enough to get in the bar, but I'd be in the little side. I remember being in a little smoky bar. Boy, you couldn't hardly breathe, back in the day.
Oh, yeah, because you could smoke everywhere.
Yeah, back then, dude, But I remember just being tucked off. My mama, kind of had me here, and I'd be watching my mama and daddy play and sing, and that's where it really hit me, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's kind of emotional for me even, but... but besides that, just like everybody else, Jason Aldean, all that crap, that shit was popping off in high school,
for
dude.
Sure.
And that's really who Jason Aldean, man, did something.
Brantley
he
Gilbert.
jams out Brantley Gilbert, two guys.
Sure.
That's just cool to me, man. And
Yeah, I mean, Jason's got the real rock and roll vibe to him as well.
Yeah, and I got some songs coming.
I got a story about that now that I think about it. My parents, who are don't listen to rock and roll music at all. They got invited to go to a concert one time with another couple, and they were going to see Jason Aldean, and it was like in a bar or something somewhere. And he opened up with a country song and then played rock and roll the whole time, and they hated it.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, my dad came back and told me the story, and he was like, "Man, like it wasn't what we were looking for. It wasn't what we were expecting." And so it was kind of sucked for them.
I went to a concert, a Jason Aldean concert in Shreveport. Man, I was hooked.
Yeah,
dog.
yeah, no
But
doubt.
we also decades younger than our parents.
For
so
sure.
there's a gap there.
No doubt, no doubt. But I hear a lot of like '90s country vibe to you. You know, like I got Conway Twitty always comes to mind.
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
People like that.
I have some slower songs.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna release them right off the bat.
Yeah.
As a new artist, I don't want to be slow right off the bat.
yeah. You got to keep the hype up.
You got to get them crunk
for sure,
bit,
for sure.
And we got a couple good ones coming, but I do have those vibes you're talking about. I blow the dust off of them, and some of them's already recorded, waiting to be mixed. But I got some of that on the way. What can I say, man? It just, as long as people keep supporting, I'll keep putting out. If the support stops, I'll have to pick up my lunchbox and go back to work.
Yeah, no, that's what I was going to ask you, man. Are you just pursuing music right now?
Right now, that's what I'm doing, man. Yeah. Like I said, it ain't been but not even quite 3 months, but I've been blessed enough to be able to do what I love and just make it along, you know. As long as I'm able to do that, that's what I'm going to do.
For sure, for sure.
And if I can't do that, I'll still play music, and it was still a good run. I don't mind working. That's what I've done all the way up to this point.
No doubt, no doubt.
For sure.
I guess, like you said, you got hopefully an album coming soon and all that kind of stuff.
Definitely. But just hopefully sooner than later.
Yeah, no doubt. You have any more tour dates or anything coming up?
I just got this show in Alabama, and I'm going to have some downtime to get in the studio and try to, pump some songs out and get them mixed and get them out there on iTunes and everything I can do. But now I really need and will. I need to book some shows around here. I got a lot of connections around here.
Yeah.
Recent connections and connections from back when I was 20 years old playing. So
for sure.
I'll definitely I'll book some little shows around Ruston, West Monroe, and Monroe, and see if I can hopefully pack them out, because then they'll want me back.
For sure.
And I'll be back.
No doubt, no doubt.
For sure, man.
Awesome. Well,
yes, indeed.
I guess we'll wrap it up there, brother.
Let's wrap it up, I guess. It's your TV show.
I really appreciate you coming on, and
no problem, man.
I'm excited to see what you have going in the future.
I appreciate it, man.
And,
I really do.
Yeah, I just hope that we can, go along this process together and help each other grow, and that's kind of the whole premise of this thing, is just helping each other. And I just feel as creatives, we have to help each other out. So.
We can get real creative. We'll do this again or something.
No doubt.
We'll do something, man.
No doubt.
I really appreciate you getting me on here.
I guess tell everybody where to find you on social media, that kind of deal.
Bubba Reeves Music. That's my music page, or my personal page, anywhere on Facebook and Instagram. I think it's all Bubba Reeves Music. I'm not sure, man. That's another thing that's new to me, is this social media stuff.
For sure.
The only reason I have social media is so I could try to get the ball rolling with this music.
No doubt.
So Bubba Reeves Music. Go and if you ain't already, a friend of mine on there, you got to go over there, check it out. Go to iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Bubba Reeves. Please go and do that if you hadn't already.
No doubt. He's got some good stuff out there. And if you're in Alabama this weekend, go check him out.
Alabama. And even if you ain't, hell, it ain't but 5 hours from right here in West Monroe. So
there you go.
Just drive out there.
All right, Bubba. Well, I really hope we'll catch up with you down the road, brother.
I appreciate it, man.